on 12th of August, 1946, 21 French Girl Guides, ordinary teenagers who grew up in war-torn France, boarded an old military aircraft bound for a holiday in Ireland. It was a government-funded trip to bring them some relief following the war years, kindle international friendships, and provide a holiday camp experience with the Irish Girl Guides. But the weather was terrible, and the old plane was blown off course. In those days, before any radars, the plane hit the Wicklow Mountains, and the impact ripped the engine from the plane, but crucially left the fuselage behind. Thankfully, the plane didn't catch on fire. Both the pilot of the plane and the leader of the Girl Guides had minor injuries, and together they left the wreckage to seek help from the local community. They wandered over the mountain in the mist, cold, and rain, and found Powerscourt Waterfall and slid down the cliff face. The remaining 19 guides huddled in the wreckage of the fuselage. 8 of them were seriously injured. After 6 hours of wandering through the mountains, the guide leader, who was in her early 20s, managed to find an inn and get help from locals. The remains of the plane were eventually discovered 12 hours after the crash, and casualties were carried down the mountain and brought to hospital. Some remained in hospital for 3 months. On the occasion of the 50th anniversary of the crash in 1996, Suzanne Barnes arranged for the ladies to meet up for the first time since the accident. In spite of the shocking events on the journey, they regarded the trip as a very positive experience, and some of them have visited the crash site since. They had already lived through a war. Some had seen the worst of the conflict in France. As we approach the 75th anniversary of this astonishing event, we pay tribute to the local people, rescuers, doctors, caregivers, and the Girl Guides themselves, whose heroic acts of courage and kindness are detailed by Suzanne in the book, When Our Plane Hit the Mountain. It is a story of adventure, friendship, resilience, and ultimately survival. Hardcore Girl Guides.